Resident Evil 2. So this video has been delayed for a few weeks, but I really want to make this review about Resident Evil 2 because before Resident Evil 2, I never was a fan of Resident Evil. I played the first one twice, never finished it, thought it was kind of shit. Then I played the fifth one, which I returned after a week, but I'm still willing to give it another try. And I played the sixth one, which is a bit controversial because that's the only one I kind of enjoyed, but I enjoyed it mostly because I played it with someone else. I know I'm a bit late with this review. I know a lot of people were talking about Resident Evil 3. I don't know, I think I had to do this review because of how much I enjoyed this game. So I do have to say, before I start talking about anything, I need to tell you that the gameplay that I show you is not that accurate. It is pretty accurate, but I'm using infinite ammo weapons, which you don't actually get at the beginning of the game. So just take that part with a grain of salt. You won't have these weapons when you start off the game. I just use them to make the gameplay a bit more fun because I played this game like way too many times. So let's just start. Yo! So before I talk about the story or the gameplay, I really want to talk about the graphics. And I'm usually not someone that cares that much about graphics. I'm there for the gameplay, not for how it looks, but I only point it out when it's really noticeable. But I do have to say, I didn't even push my computer that hard. My settings weren't that high, but still it just looks so beautiful. It looks really just realistic. I love it, and I just had to say that before talking about anything else. Yo! So let's talk about the story, and I'll try not to spoil much or anything at all, but it's kind of hard, so here's a little warning. The first cutscene, you'll meet this truck driver who's going to eat a burger and is on his way to probably Raccoon City. I think this is kind of an introduction of how good the game looks. He crashes into some hair and will switch to Leon or Claire depending on which character you chose. You go to the gas station, and here you're kind of introduced to the shit that's about to happen. Then you'll meet Claire or Leon, again depending on which character you chose, and you'll go to Raccoon City. So in Raccoon City, Leon and Claire are trapped in their car, and then the truck driver comes. And who would have thought he was bitten by the burger? The burger, he in some magical way, the burger turned into a zombie and bit the truck driver. I'm just making this up. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So after the first cutscenes, you'll go to the police station, and here you'll discover secrets, more information about what happened, and you'll discover more locations. So that's pretty cool, I guess. The story is pretty simple. It's in my opinion, I don't really mind it. It's okay. It's good, I think. But it is cool to learn about what actually happened in Raccoon City. The infamous disaster or something. So throughout the police station there are multiple files you can find, and not only the police station but also the other locations. There are files you can find, read through them to learn more about what happened here. It's useful, but not for me. I think it's boring to read. I'm lazy, sorry, I skipped most of them, but still, if you are interested, you can read all of them. The game has an A and B scenario. As I told you before, you can choose the character, and every character has a different character, of course. A different like side characters, like Leon has Ada. Claire has Sherry. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I don't really care. You also have different weapons and a different ending, and only if you play the A and B scenario, you'll like get the true ending. It has replayability, and I think that's a really good thing. So there's one negative thing about the story, and that's the A and B scenario play out pretty unrealistically. If your character B, you'll need to reopen doors that were unlocked when you play the A scenario. You'll encounter the same bosses, which is kind of weird. But okay, I guess I'm not expecting Capcom to make a whole different area for just a B scenario. The B and A scenario are more like, oh, I played A, but I want more, so let's play B. That's kind of it. So it's not really a big negative, but I do want to point it out that it's kind of weird. So my first playthrough took me 8 hours to unlock everything, find everything. And then the second playthrough, or the B scenario, it took me 5 hours. But after that, it quickly became 1 to 3 hours per playthrough.
Yo!
Let's talk about the gameplay and divide the gameplay into a positive and a negative part. So let's talk about the positive parts first. First of all, there's gore. It's not really gameplay, but you can shoot every single limb of a zombie and it would just fall off, and sometimes the zombie would even survive, which is kind of effed up if you ask me, but still it's kind of cool. You also have this cutscene where you'll find a cop which has his jaw almost like falling off. The atmosphere is also very good, especially in the police station and one part in the sewer. The rest of the game, it's a, well, you have this inventory that is expandable using these RPD pouches. You have this examine option, so you can look at tiny details from every single item, and sometimes it has a secret, which is pretty cool. So the game also has these little details that are very convenient, like you have this map that shows you if you missed an item in a certain room, and sometimes even which item it is. Also, you have this discarding function where if you don't need a key item, you can just discard it. It's really, really convenient. You also have puzzles in this game, and the puzzles are really easy, and after a few playthroughs you'll memorize most of the solutions. So they aren't really a big challenge, I would say. As I said before, with the A and B scenario, you have replayability for this game, and you'll learn throughout every run. You'll learn to find certain key items so you can explore everything, or just take their mandatory key items and continue with the story and finish the game in about an hour. There are different enemies and you can learn from these. For my first playthrough, I killed every single licker I saw, but then I learned, you don't need to kill them, they can't hear you, so you can just walk past them. I don't really know if this is a positive or a negative thing, but everyone I watched says you need to be, ammo is limited, you need to not shoot every zombie. I played this game on normal and on hardcore. I never ever had a problem with my ammo. Also, this game has so much free extra stuff. Like you have the Ghost Survivor DLCs, which are, I'm not a big fan of them, but still it's such a great thing to get for free. I think other companies would have just let you pay maybe a season pass to even play these games. And you have so much. You have the Tofu, you have the with Hunk, the fourth survivor, and you have these Ghost Survivors, as I said before, and the Tofu has like 5 or 6 Tofu modes, so you have so much variety for free, and you get these concept arts. You can see the models and the animations, and there are these records which are kind of achievements on their own. Also results, again, talking about replayability. If you really like this game, you'll try to get the best scores. Like you'll try to get at least an S for every single run. So now let's talk about the one thing a lot of people love or really hate about this game, and that's the Tyrant, or Mr. X. Mr. X puts a lot of pressure on you, especially in the first playthrough, and it depends on the person that's playing the game whether this is a positive or a negative thing. For me, in the first playthrough, I kind of liked it, being chased, but for some people it really just ruins the experience, and I can understand that. Unfortunately, after the first playthrough, this guy becomes extremely boring. He doesn't do anything. The only thing that he does is tricks your hearing. You think, oh, he's downstairs, but then he's somewhere else. Probably my shitty audio equipment, but still. But he's way too slow. He can't catch you, and it's just way too easy to dodge him. Also, you're telling me that this massive thing can go through 3 layers of concrete wall, but can't break through a door that just separates me from a safe room. It kind of ruins the immersion of the game. But I do really like his art, so yeah, that's a positive thing. Especially the last boss fight with Leon is really good. They look. His art is good. So as you already noticed, I'm already going into the negative part of this gameplay section. So let's talk about the negative stuff. By the way, bosses look amazing, just like the Tyrant. But the bosses are also kind of a joke. Like, for example, the first boss, you can knife him to death. It won't even do anything. He'll just run around and, well, I got unlucky on these 2 playthroughs that I'll show you. That he just grabbed me. But you can defeat this boss in just maybe 5 seconds or something. That might be an over-exaggeration, but still. Only the second boss has a unique but still cliche way of killing it. So I have 2 negative things that I still want to say. First of all, the horror part. The horror part is just gone after the first playthrough. Last but not least, I want to talk about Ada's part. And you'll get to play Ada if you play Leon's campaign, and you'll get to play Sherry if you play Claire's campaign. If you play Sherry, you'll get chased by this child predator. He's really messed up and holy shit, and you'll go to the orphanage, which is a whole complete different location. And I think this part is so good, and that's why I really love Claire's campaign. I love it so much more than Leon's. And Ada is by far, I think, my favorite character of this game. But her part is just a complete joke. I'm kind of mad about this, because you'll have this short ass part, which you can finish in about 2 minutes, I guess. And the only special thing you have is this stupid ass FBI scanner thing that just unlocks doors.
You are gonna be so fucking sorry!
Go, Rick!
You stupid bitch, that's a dead end! I'm coming to you, Sherry!
I'm just disappointed. Yo! My total playtime of this game is about, I think, 50 hours or something. I finished this game around 10 times. I unlocked every achievement and most of the records. I know in the gameplay I kind of think I have a lot of negative things about this game to say, but even then, the first, I would say 5 or 6 times playing this game was just amazing. I love this game so much. I couldn't even enjoy any other game. And I'm not even joking when I'm saying this. Every other game I played was just boring. I wanted to play more Resident Evil 2, and I just wanted to play it non-stop. It's just so much fun. The DLC part, you know, the free DLCs, they're okay. Not my favorite part, but still. They add some background, or well, not really background, but add a little side story to some characters you'll know and see in the main game. But the main campaign, especially Claire's campaign, is just so amazing. I love that campaign just so much. Leon's campaign is also really good, except Ada's part, but still. Ada is still the best character in my opinion of this game. I also like that there are no mandatory DLCs, which you miss a lot of stuff in. Everything is just optional. Really short. This game is just amazing. It has some flaws, but still, I just can't hate this game. Yo! So my final rating for this game is a 9 out of 10. It's really hard to rate this game because of how many times I played it. Because the first few times I played it, this was, I would say, almost a 10. But the last few times were a bit less. So 9 out of 10. I think that's a good rating for this game. And I love this game. And I will probably replay it many more times in the future, but not right now. Capcom, here's a message. Just remake the first game like this game, and I might enjoy that one. Yo! I know I've been gone for a very long time, but I wasn't really motivated to make anything. I now bought a few other games, so they are probably coming up in a few weeks. And hopefully I'll stay a bit longer this time. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.